My name is OSullivan and I'm 20 years old. A bit about myself, I've obviously grown up on a cattle station when I was real young, always wanting to learn and follow in, the footstep of the family with the property, riding horses, cattle work, and just anything about land. And then I got year 7, I went to boarding school, and then pretty much during that time I would come back to home, learn more and more about like the way the country responds to the cattle, the rain, and just giving back pretty much. Had my accident in 2022, and then been on a pretty big journey, but now back here, which I'm quite glad to be back here. My injury, I rolled my car 4 to 6 times on a dirt road. I think on the other side of Mount Coolin, and then I spent a little while in ICU at Townsville Hospital, and then I got flown down to the Brisbane spinal unit at Princess Alexandra, and I spent probably 15 months in total there. I was supposed to get out within probably 6-7 months, but I had a water soil based infection that had created a hole through my throat in the esophagus, which must have been from the dirt road where I rolled it. And so that, I think I was 3 months, I had to lay flat, couldn't eat or drink, and had 4 surgeries in the neck, and they had to take metal out because that's what it attached to. So then that delayed a big lot of the time, added a lot more on. But with the rehab side of things, it was real good. At the spinal unit, they had physio, OT, so that got me back up. I learnt a few things, in the with your hands, the cooking, just general getting back to a feeling of what it's like in a wheelchair. And then the physio helped with that, transferring, strengthening, adapting to the wheelchair as well. And then after that, I found a physio place in Gold Coast called Making Strides, and they've been a huge help as well. I go down there for a month, once or twice a year, and just do an intensive, muscle building, posture strengthening, it all, learning even more new things I didn't think I could do, which has helped me get back into a normalish life, living on a property with an injury. One thing I love about agriculture and being on the land is really just the freedom and the serenity and the birds, the bees, the flies, anything. And then also, my greatest, feel I think for the land is really the grass growth, or growing Lakina and growing something that will obviously help cattle get fatter, help their breeding rate go up. What I love about the ag industry is definitely the serenity, the nature, and the way of being on the land, and also being able to, for me to be able to get out and muster or help improve pastures or moving cattle, growing Lakina down on the property, or anything, it's just it's almost freedom for me. And to be able to give back to the ag industry by helping, as I said before, the growing rate of grass, respecting the land, respecting the cattle, and then watching them improve and then help grow the place that I live on is very meaningful. What I really want to do in my career is, obviously, I've got a good passion for the drone mustering through Sky Kelpie and Ability Ag. They're helping a lot, but that just allows a lot more freedom of roaming the property, because obviously my body doesn't handle the heat really well. So it allows me to still be out and being involved with all the mustering and that, the way Sky Kelpie has set the drone up. So that really, and I will get my licensing through them as well. So that also will allow and open up doors for me to do contracting, mustering with a drone, or even surveys. Like it opens a big door. But and also really just being still on the property, being a part of it all, and living until I retire on the land. And obviously my goal, eventually, is it will take a while, but expanding the property, looking for different things to help boost everything, even like what we're doing now, Lakina, that's going to boost the fattening for the cattle. But really, just being still in the agriculture business, and then also the drone, In my experience from being on the land so far in a wheelchair, I feel like the ag industry hasn't actually explored or expanded into that adaptive equipment, or accessible equipment, which it does get difficult doing. But Back to Work is a funding body that I've been working with, and I'm in the process of trying to get a remote control system for the bulldozer, or hydraulic races, or even cars, or something that can get me out and about. But I'm in the process. I don't know if I'll quite do it yet, but I'm looking at trying to get a car, like a wagon shape, and really just stripping it out and making it as high as possible. And then that allows me to also get out on the property, drive around, then I can get out wherever I want, because I'll still be in my wheelchair. But I do, there is stuff out there in the ag industry, but I also think it's quite, in my personal views, challenging to get access to that, just because it gets difficult trying to improvise stuff, or be able to get in that certain vehicle, or where you want to do. But what I've learnt being in the ag industry or on the land, with a wheelchair, or anyone with mental health issues, or being a disability, or something that's holding them back from being able to do what they actually can and capable, instead of having a feeling that they can't, they have to be held back because they're in some sort of state. But what I've found is, I always tell myself, if I think I can't do something, I'm obviously, nothing works. I've got no hands or legs, but I still got a brain. So I can't just take the easy, straight path to doing what I used to be able to do. I've just got to go around and do it a different way, and I can still get to the same spot, or what I wanted to achieve. And everyone's always going to struggle with whatever injury they have, and I found being able to just get out, just be around someone that's real positive, and you're always going to be comfortable around, or go out and just sit with cattle, or anything, especially when you're on the land. You can get out and you've got the freedom, and you can just relax. So the people that have really helped me out from getting the transition from hospital to home on the land, where Back to Work was one of the programs that they actually helped fund the buggy, fund the office, where I can still do all the office work for the company. NISQ funding partner, they really helped with the house modifications. They made the house accessible for me to be able to come home, which was a huge help. and also the Sky Kelpie and Ability Ag, which is still all new, but they're going to help with the drone and being able to, get me back out in the paddock without, any parts where like I'll get affected from the heat or so that's a huge help from all those people. Another funding body that is a huge help to me getting back to work as well is Job Access. Very grateful for what they have done for me. So the timeline of building, funding and modifications or adaptive equipment does take a long time. From what I experienced with the house, it took probably 4 to 5 months, and that gets to when you're about to leave hospital. They're still trying to get the contracts, or people are trying to get time to do it. So then you actually leave the hospital and you've got to find another accommodation and still wait for your house to be done. But I was lucky, sort of lucky. I got to stay in hospital a bit longer, and then the house was all done. So with that, you really got to be on top of it. But it does get done in time, but you want to make sure you allow a lot more time before when you start doing the process. And also with the adaptive equipment for the desk, the buggy, and the buggy took a little bit as well, just because it was getting a bit tricky, with the tight space, making it so my knees wouldn't hit, but making it as easy as possible. That probably took 3-4 months as well, or 5 months. But the desk was pretty good. That came pretty quick, probably 2 months. But definitely with all the equipment and ordering stuff, house mods, definitely, in my point of view and experience, again, it takes a while. So I've been lucky enough to get back into the footy side of things with Union. Obviously I was a big fan and played a lot of it. It was quite hard at start, not to be able to play and watching it and not being a part of it. But in town, the local Mud Crabs team, I am the assistant coach, helping and putting a few tips in, or helping the forwards. But they're quite good. But it's actually quite nice being able to get back in the community. I didn't realise how much of an impact that would have, being able to get back in the community, because before that I was just at home. I never got back in the community. I was distancing myself. So getting back there, it's just a bigger and better world, healthier for your mindset. You feel included. So I find that with people, don't distance yourself from the community you're in. Lean on them to make you feel a part of it. Just supporting. You'd be surprised how many people welcome you and don't judge you for what state you're in. They judge us for you, who you are. The advice I would also have for parents or people that have been around a relative or a friend that's been in an accident, it's a hard game to play, because the parents just want to be there for you, do anything for you, will sacrifice anything. But at the same time, it is quite difficult, especially, I don't know, for someone in this injury. You don't feel independent, you feel bombarded, you feel crowded, because it does take a couple of years to get used to it, and all you want to do is just go probably into a dark room and just be away from everyone. So respect that boundary and read the room. If that person needs space was a big thing.